In the beginning, before there was a world, or any living things living on it, there was a great emptiness. And this was called Ginnunga Gap. And to the north of Ginnunga Gap was a land called Niflheim, a land of cold and mists, where the mountains were just blocks of ice. And far, far, far to the south was the land of Muspel, a land of fire and heat, with rivers of passion and lakes of hot metal. And slowly the fiery blasts of Muspel began to melt the icy lands of Niflheim. And out of the ice, the giant Ymir was born, who was the first being. And beside him emerged a cow. And the cow licked the salt from the ice, and Ymir drank the milk from the cow. And Ymir grew. And the cow licked the ice from the mountains, and from two more beings that emerged from the ice, the god Buri and his goddess wife, and from them they bore a son, Bor. And from Bor came Odin, the king of all the gods. Now Ymir was a cruel and brutal giant. And Odin and all the other gods decided enough was enough, and they gathered together and they slew him. He came down with a mighty crash, and from his body came the earth. His flesh became land, his blood became sea, his bones were the mountains, and his hair the trees. And Odin raised up his skull, and that became the sky, held up by 4 pillars. And he took some fiery sparks from Muspel and tossed them into the sky, and they became the sun and the moon. And as they shone over this new world, the ice began to melt still further until plants and trees could begin to grow. And of these trees, the greatest by far was Yggdrasil. And the roots of Yggdrasil went down to the bottom of creation, and the leaves made their way to the top of the sky. And Odin was satisfied, and he called this Midgard, the Middle Land. But it still lacked people. And one day Odin was walking, and he found 2 fallen trees, an ash and an elm, and he breathed life, reason, feelings, hearing, sight into these fallen trees, and they became a man who he called Ask, and a woman who he called Embla, and from them came the entire human race. And Odin gave Midgard to the humans to look after, and the gods ascended to Asgard. But Ymir had giant sisters, and they were angry with Odin, and they despised these humans. And one night when the moon was full, they carved lines into the trunk of Yggdrasil. And Each line was a human life with its twists and turns, and each line ended in a deep cut. Because each life of a human must end. These spells were too powerful for Odin. And from that time, humans knew death and suffering. And Yggdrasil was known as the Tree of